to share with you another recipe. This one is from my husband's father, so my father-in-law. He used to run a restaurant. He's no longer with us. But he had some great recipes that he came up with on his own, basically. And the funny thing is he offered this in his restaurant. It was one of the most popular ones. It's called tomato pepper pot. And curiously, it resembles the cabbage soup from the cabbage soup diet. In any case, there's variations, and this is a variation, but he did come up with this on his own. So first, and he uses olive oil, by the way, but today I'm going to go ahead and use my virgin coconut oil. And we're going to put just about a tablespoon of oil into a big stock pot. I'm going to heat it on low heat. And while that's heating, I'm going to be chopping my garlic. The garlic heads that popped out of the roasted garlic. So one little hint when you're chopping food is to use a French knife. This is a big long one with a wider hilt down here. And what you can do is hold your hand on top of the top of it and then just lift up the bottom part, and that way you have more control. You can chop finer and quicker. So now that's all chopped up and very fine, and I'm going to go ahead and put that inside of the stock pot with the coconut oil on low heat. It's also easy to pick up all of the pieces of garlic. Another hint, when you're chopping garlic and onions, your hands are going to smell like that for days unless you do something. Actually, stainless steel, rubbing your hands on stainless steel, washing with soap and water first and rubbing them on stainless steel, gets rid of the scent. I don't know why. I used to have gloves that I kept here in the kitchen for things like this to keep myself from smelling like that garlic for days. But I couldn't find them. I keep wanting to see my husband cleaned out that area the other day and they're gone. So I think he took them out to the garage for his painting projects. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken. And I'm using a lot of chicken today because my husband loves this soup. So it's not just going to be for me, it's going to be for both he and I. So what I'm doing next is I'm going to go ahead and chop up the chicken while the garlic is starting to sizzle in that coconut oil. Now, my father-in-law, his name is Roger Spurdy. He did not use chicken in this recipe. He used chicken stock. But I'm going to use chicken in this recipe because I need more protein, 100 grams with every meal. So I'm adding chicken to this recipe. I've really never had tomato pepper pot with chicken before, so this will be a new adventure for me as well as for you. Another thing I learned from my husband, who used to be a chef, when I first met him, he was a chef in a fancy French gourmet restaurant, taught me how to easily chop. And you chop in a like a spreadsheet matrix type of pattern. You know, across the top lengthwise, then you turn it and you score it or cut it again. And there, that gives you your evenly diced pieces of whatever it is that you're chopping. The other thing that you can do is keep the knife on the cutting board. With chicken, it's a little bit harder to do that because it's kind of a slippery little sucker. But when you do that and you hold your food with your knuckles and your knuckles are against the knife, you can be cutting all you want and you'll never cut your fingers off, and yet you're still holding your food tightly against the knife. That's a little trick that he taught me so many years ago, and it has just been kind of a lifesaver, finger saver all these years. And we're not going to add the chicken just yet. We're actually going to put in the onion that I have chopped over here. I'm going to put that in first, and then I will be putting the chicken in after the garlic and the onion are all sauteed. Ooh, you can smell it. It smells so good, and I need to stop with the spatula there and use a wooden spoon. I really like wooden spoons because they're organic. Okay, here's my chopped onion. I'm going to be adding that to the stock pot. And it should be sizzling. I've got it on a medium-low heat here. The garlic is all toasty. Oh, it looks so good. And now the onion's going to be. Now I'm just going to saute the onion until it's translucent. Probably should have shared with you a easy way to cut the onion, but I had already had it cut, sorry. But what you do is cut the onion in half, widthwise, not lengthwise, so that the ends are still on it, and that way you can more easily peel off the skin, and you leave the top and bottom, which will keep the layers intact. And when you need, this is for when you need to finely chop it, but then you, with the very top of the knife, you'll cut all the way just before the end. Lengthwise this way, then you turn it and this way, and then this way. I don't know if that will make sense, but that way you can get some very, very small pieces of onion. Kind of mince it. And then once you do that, if you even want it smaller, you can use my method of keeping this down on top of the cutting board and mincing it till it's fine, fine, fine. And once I get the garlic and the onion to where I want, I will be adding the chicken. Cook that up till there's no more pink left on the chicken. Then I will be cutting my head of lettuce. Now it's up to you how much, head of cabbage. It's up to you how much. Okay, I have added the chicken, and like I said earlier, I'm cooking it until it's translucent. Let me give you a look-see. How's that? And I'm going to be using my own stock. And then the other thing you want to put in is a can of tomatoes, cut tomatoes. I like them diced already. Anyway, looks like the chicken is cooked up. There's no pink left. I'm going to add the cabbage first. Another cutting technique that I do want to share with you is that when you're cutting food, you want to get a flat surface so that you can set it flat on your cutting surface and it will be stable. The other thing my husband does to keep the cutting surface stable is he'll use a cutting board, and underneath the cutting board he'll lay out a damp cloth so that the cutting board sitting on top won't move. These are all techniques that he learned as a French chef. Now I like to cut my cabbage in larger chunks for this soup or stew. There you can see they're larger chunks. I'm going to go ahead and put them in with the chicken, garlic, and onion. It smells fabulous, by the way. Don't you wish they could come up with something on the internet that would allow us to record and play back smells? Wouldn't that be great? So it looks like it's almost filling the top of the pot here. But cabbage tends to cook down quite a bit. So right now, the way it's cooking is mostly steaming from what the juices that the chicken put off, chicken and onions. Okay folks, so there you can see this, it's all assembled. Now I'm going to simmer it for a few minutes, and I'm going to taste it and season it to my liking. Then I'll be eating a portion of it for lunch and putting the rest aside for another meal at another time.